Meantime, Juul Labs, as Ed said, agreed to pay $438.5 million to 33 states. This resolves a 2-year bipartisan probe into the e-cigarette makers' manufacturing and sales practices, the states claiming that it marketed addictive nicotine products to children. Bloomberg's Erik Larson joining us now to discuss. So, Erik, tell us how significant this settlement is today.
It's a very significant settlement. It's certainly the largest that Juul has had to pay to date involving any individual states. You know, in the last year or so, the company had settled a few state lawsuits by Washington State and North Carolina and really had all this huge investigation hanging over it in the meantime. So clearly they decided to be done with this particular risk, although clearly there's a lot of lawsuits still pending out there. But this definitely does away with a lot of the lawsuits that could have been filed by these 33 states and Puerto Rico.
So, how much does this resolve these, hundreds of other lawsuits, essentially? How much of Juul's legal troubles go away as a result of this?
Well, it definitely is significant that these states have settled, but there are still over 2,500 civil lawsuits, like personal injury lawsuits, that have been filed by individuals, and also dozens of cases filed by state governments and school districts. In fact, in November, the San Francisco School District will go to trial in the first of these cases to go to trial, which could really show the potential for how a jury might react to the evidence once it is presented. So that's another one that potentially we could see a settlement before it hits trial, but there are over 2,500 suits out there, plus several states that are, including New York and California, by the way, which normally are, have the potential for big settlements or damages. They have lawsuits pending against Juul that are still pending.
So Juul's agreed to stop a number of different marketing practices as a result of this settlement. What are they, and how big of a change will that be from the company we knew before?
Well, we should note that Juul said in a statement today that all of these things that it has agreed to not do, it is already not doing, is the way it put it. It said it voluntarily changed its business practices a while ago, as the writing was on the board here about how it was, the hammer was coming down on some of these marketing practices, but it's no longer going to market to youth. It's not going to do most social media marketing, not going to use cartoons and ads. It's agreed to not do public transportation advertising. It won't be using anyone who's under the age of 35 in any advertising. A lot of things like that. No sponsored products, no free products. Quite a wide range of activities normally associated with the marketing that it's agreeing to not do, including, importantly, only limiting to FDA-approved flavors, which it used to, of course, have lots of different candy flavors, fruit flavors, and now they've done away with that.